Hey, what's going on YouTube? In this video, I just want to talk about my experience that I've had with religion over the years. Just give a brief story of me coming to faith, and then a little bit about the process of me, in the faith and then leaving it. My goal and intention in this video is not to offend anyone. If religion helps you, then great, wonderful. That's okay, but there's also people out there that, religion, it doesn't help people. It doesn't work for them, and that's also okay. So like I said, I just want to clarify that. But yeah, so growing up, I was never really super religious. I mean, I would go to church here and there, but I never really took it serious. And then I've always had questions, though. I've always been the type to just question. I just remember driving in the back seat of a car and just looking up and just always wondering, like why? How did I get here? Like, what's the point of all this? So I've always been a big questioner, always been a big thinker. And I guess, when I hit high school, that's when I had an encounter. I just came across a YouTube video, and it talked about heaven and hell, and the guy explained, do you know where you're going if you were to die today? And I'm not gonna lie, it honestly scared me. Now that I look back, it was fear. It was literally fear that converted me. It was literally fear that brought me onto this journey. And, that's where I'm going to stop and say, if there is a God and he's going to use fear to scare me, to come to him, to me, that doesn't resonate with me. To me, a good, loving God would never do that, would never scare someone to believe in their son, right, if they don't want to go to hell. So to me, that's just red flags. I've always struggled with that concept, but I just threw it under the rug and ignored it. But yeah, I had my conversion. And then after that, I started to post YouTube videos and I was a Pharisee. I judged people. I looked at everyone as just, are you saved or are you not? And I would go up to people and try to share Jesus with them. But now that I look back at it, what was the motivator? It was fear. I was doing all this out of fear. It wasn't a genuineness. It wasn't something that I genuinely wanted to do. I felt that I had to please this God. This God was looking after me, and if I wouldn't save people, right, from going to hell, then shame on me. I could possibly be going to hell. And to me, looking back, it's just, I don't know. It just doesn't seem right. It seems off. There's something off about it. It literally distorted the way I seen people. I would look at people and judge their lifestyle, and I just had this I'm better than you mentality. I'm saved and you're not. Just, I don't know, just puffed up. And then, yeah, that continued, and I struggled with questions and doubts too. I've struggled with being in the flesh when I was in college, with partying and just trying to live a godly, a holy life. So there was a battle there, but there was just this desire to, just live a life in a way that is healthy. But I do remember just struggling with it, and I cut off friends for the sake of my faith, and they literally seen me as weird, and they were wondering what has gotten into me. My family wondered what has gotten into me, because I don't know, I took it too serious, to the point where, like, it was too serious. And yeah, I don't know. Now that I look back at it, it's just crazy to like see where I'm at now in my journey and where I was, and I'm able to think much clearly and really see that, you know, what really was that? You know, did I really have a true conversion? What was that? But one thing I do know is that I was operating out of fear. You know, fear was the motivator, and I truly believe that, you know, if fear is the motivator, it's not genuine. You're not coming from a place where you actually want to do it, you know. So that continued, and then I don't know when, but I started to really, you know, get into the Bible, to read it, and I would come across certain scriptures, you know, that would really just make me go like, something seems off about that. Something doesn't seem right. Doesn't seem like a loving God will do that, you know. And I know a lot of people have said, well, who are you to question God? But I'm going to say this: if God has created me, right, and He has put this intuition in me, and He has designed me, I'm going to trust that, than trust a book that was written by, you know, men that claimed to be inspired by God, but I don't know that for sure. You know, I'd rather trust my intuition and what, you know, if God did create me, what He has put inside of me to discern. You know, and when I'm reading these scriptures, and not even that, when I'm seeing contradictions in the scriptures, you know, I'm gonna question, and I'm gonna dive deeper. And that's where I started to dive deep. I started to read articles. I started to just read the Bible and the Old Testament and the New Testament, just compare them. And that's where, you know, for me, I started to see like something's not adding up. You know, I'm not going to get into detail, but that's just my experience with it. I never really seen these things. I was just blinded to them, you know. And I talked to a lot of people about what I'm seeing in the scriptures, and they just didn't see it. They didn't see it that way, and you know, that's okay. I guess we all have different perceptions, but I was just sharing what I was seeing, and it just wasn't adding up. And you know, I think the biggest thing is like, it's just the fear mentality. And you know, Christianity, I'm not gonna talk down on it, but for me, like I said, my experience, it made me not authentic. It made me mask a lot. You know, I had to walk around thinking I'm this perfect Christian, you know, and try to live a life that's totally, I don't know. But it just, I wasn't authentic. I wasn't real. I wasn't just, I wasn't free. You know, I was experiencing, I was in bondage, but yet, you know, I would read scriptures and say, and it would read, you know, you're set free in Christ. But I never really felt set free. I've always felt that I was in bondage still, you know. But yeah, you know, I came across testimonies of people leaving Christianity, and I think that's what sparked it. But I tried to ignore it. I tried to ignore that part of my brain, that logical part. I tried to ignore it, and but it just kept coming up. Like, I have to research this. I have to dig into this deeper, because if this is true, and if what I'm seeing isn't adding up, then what really is truth? What do I believe? And I think that's you know, the catalyst of my deconversion, and me not fully identifying with being a Christian. You know, like, I wouldn't say I'm an atheist. I do believe that there is a higher being, a higher power. You know, you could call it source, whatever. You could call it God, whatever you want to call it. But I definitely do think there's something more powerful out there. It's just like, as far as the Bible and conforming to its doctrines, I just, you know, to me, that doesn't suit me anymore. You know, I know that the Bible has been fiddled with and changed and distorted. And for me, if there was a God that really cared for His word to be in perfect form and unity of how it was first written, He would have made sure that the Bible was, fiddled with. So that's just my opinion. But yeah, so yeah, I mean, I started watching atheist videos and hearing their testimonies, and it really just made me. It made me. It made my mind open up to a whole new level, a whole new perspective. And I started seeing things differently, and it just kind of just blew my mind. And that has led me out of believing in Christianity, believing in it being the only way, the truth. But now on my journey, I wouldn't say I am an atheist. I do believe in, like, there's something, a source, but for me, we could never know. Honestly, we could never know fully, right? We can claim to know, we can have these experiences, but in reality, we don't really know. So that's just where I'm at with that. But like I said, guys, if you are a Christian watching this video, you are free to believe in Christianity. If it helps you, that's great. Like I said, I'm just sharing my experience, my journey with it, and where I'm at with faith. I still have my doubts. I struggle with praying to a God that I can't see, I can't hear, I can't even touch, and I've always struggled with that while being a Christian. Praying to Jesus. They say pray to Jesus. He loves you. He's there for you. He cares for you. Okay, you can say that, but I can't see him. How do I know I'm not praying to just thin air? And that's what I felt like. I was praying to a brick wall. I'm just praying to no one. And that's the tricky part, is you can pray and trick yourself into thinking that you're actually praying to someone, but in reality, you're probably not. Like I said, I don't know. You're probably not. You probably are. I just don't know. But I'm just telling you how I felt. And I feel like that today. Like I'll pray sometimes, but just when I pray, I don't know. I just feel like I'm not praying to anyone. Like, are you really? Is there anyone there? Is there anyone listening? I would never know. I know a lot of people, they say they hear from God, they hear from the Lord, and that's great. Honestly, that's your experience, and that's wonderful. But my experience is I've never heard, from God. I never heard from Jesus. Jesus has never showed up to me. And I've sought hard for a sign, for God to just let me know that this is true, Christianity is true, and that Jesus is true, and for me to be led in this direction, it makes me doubt even more. So yeah, that's my experience, guys. If you have had a similar experience or experiencing the same thing, just know that you're not alone. It's okay to be on the journey that you're on. Some people aren't going to like it, and that's okay. We have to respect each other's journey. We're different. We're unique. We're human, obviously, but we all have different inner worlds. We all have different experiences in life. We all perceive differently. We all think differently. And it's okay. Just be unique. You're on your own journey, and if someone does not respect that, then so be it, honestly, because at the end of the day, none of us will never find out until we die. That's what I like to say. When we die, we'll find out. But right now in life, we have to focus on the reality of it, So yeah, guys, that's just a brief experience of my journey with religion. I don't want to make this video too long, but yeah, just wanted to make this video and let you guys know. Like I said, if you are a Christian watching this video, I don't intend to make this video to bash Christianity or anything like that. It's all to share my experience. And if you're watching this video and you have went down similar roads, you're not alone. Keep seeking, keep thinking, and never give up. You got this. I'll see you on the next video. Peace.